Good evening, I'm Ian Hannamansing. Tonight, a dramatic spike in COVID cases.
It's absolutely frustrating to be here again.
From cutting capacity to limiting holiday gathering, even canceling New Year's Eve parties.
This is going to be a very difficult 3 weeks.
The push to slow Omicron's explosive growth. The scramble for rapid tests.
You come and you line up for an hour, and there's nothing.
A provincial promise for free tests delayed.
It's, in a word, a tsunami.
And buying your own isn't any easier. Canceling back to work.
We've been opening the branches and now shutting them down.
The ripple effects of keeping employees home. And answering your questions.
I have a question about the impact of Omicron.
For people who are vaccinated, what are the outcomes of testing positive?
Is a rapid test still beneficial to me?
The doctors are in. This is The National. From caution to concern to now sudden clampdowns and restrictions, the tone from officials on Omicron is changing almost as quickly as infections are rising. The sense now that the new variant is fueling a holiday surge.
The situation is both dramatic and critical.
We need everybody to dig deep now.
We're on the worst possible curve.
This is going to be a very difficult 3 weeks.
The rise in average daily new cases isn't just in Ontario and Quebec. It's now starting to show up in several provinces from coast to coast. The national curve extremely steep, with daily new cases across Canada up by nearly 60% in just the past week. Thomas Dagler shows us the response across the country, and for the second holiday season of this pandemic, now familiar warnings.
For those who still feel the pull of a night out, restrictions are growing across the country.
Trying to get out at least a few more days and go to restaurants, but frustrating.
Ontario, the latest province to reintroduce a 50% capacity limit on pubs and restaurants as a way to stem the spread of Omicron. Premier Doug Ford changing course 2 days after refusing to impose those measures.
The decision to limit people's ability to gather, especially during holidays, is an extremely difficult one to make.
The province is reporting more than 3,000 new infections. That's triple the daily tally from 10 days ago. The explosive growth here providing a glimpse for others of what's to come.
The road ahead of us over the next few weeks is going to be very rough.
From coast to coast,
it's absolutely frustrating to be here again.
The same warnings.
This is, of course, not where we want to be.
BC is cutting crowd sizes by half in big arenas and concert halls and calling for New Year's Eve parties to be canceled. While for the holidays in Manitoba, families will only be allowed to welcome 10 vaccinated guests, even fewer if anyone is not vaccinated.
The speed, but also the amplitude of difference between where we were a week or two ago here and where we are now, it's shocking.
Quebecers are again lining up for drive-through PCR tests as the province sets a new record for case counts in a single day. This Montreal Children's Hospital announced a baby, born healthy and not even 2 months old, has died after falling ill with COVID. A heart-wrenching reminder of an unpredictable threat.
It's not just the case numbers that have gone up, but we have seen an increase in the hospitalizations as well, and that's really what's most concerning.
Kingston, Ontario is already facing a crisis, with critical care beds in hospital nearing capacity, and the area reporting the highest case rates ever seen in the country. Omicron is bound to only make things worse.
We are anticipating and wondering when we'll start to potentially see those cases through our ICU.
Air ambulances are being called in to move patients to other regions for care, while hospital staff elsewhere fear.
It's very concerning, and people and we get worried about what there is to come.
And Thomas, on this Friday night, in Toronto at least, you may be seeing signs of this heightened concerns about Omicron.
Certainly here on the streets downtown, Ian, it's pretty quiet. I say that on a Friday night, just before the holidays, when normally a lot of people would want to go out and have a drink or dinner with friends. I would also point out that there's a small number of restaurant owners in this city, at least, who've said we're going to pause indoor dining for the time being, knowing that with those projections of numbers of Omicron cases coming, they figure they're going to be forced to go to takeout only soon in any case. Ian.
All right. Thomas, thank you.
You're welcome.
The spread of Omicron is unlike anything seen in the pandemic so far. According to recent data from Ontario, Omicron has a reproduction rate, or R value, ranging from 3 to 4. That means, on average, an infected person is spreading it to up to 4 others, who each will transmit it to 4 others, and so on. National modeling presented a week ago suggests Omicron could drive daily new cases above 26,000 by mid-January. That is triple the record set in the spring. Under this scenario, even if the rate of severe disease is lower with Omicron, a smaller percentage of such a large number could still overwhelm hospitals. Let's bring in infectious disease specialist Dr. Isaac Bogoch. And Dr. Bogoch, at this point, what do we know about the link between Omicron and hospitalizations?
Unfortunately, we don't know enough. We still know that it's extremely transmissible. We know that people, of course, can get sick with this. There's South African data, there's emerging data from the UK and from Denmark. We'll obviously have our own data, unfortunately, emerging from Canada. I think it's still too soon to have a definitive link. I think what's clear is that 2 doses of a vaccine will still provide protection against severe illness. 3 doses will provide greater protection, but it's not entirely clear what that link is just yet.
Which leads us to the next question, which is, I heard so many people until recently calling this pandemic one of the unvaccinated. What about now?
It's a pandemic of everybody. It always has been a pandemic of everybody. By definition, a pandemic impacts the entire world. Now, it, of course, impacts unvaccinated people significantly more than it impacts vaccinated individuals. But still, I think it's fair to say that we're all feeling the health, social, economic, political, existential ramifications of this pandemic, vaccinated or not.
We have more questions and answers from you and 2 colleagues later in the show, so stand by. Thanks, Dr. Bogoch.
My pleasure.
One way people are trying to reduce the COVID risk over the holidays while still seeing friends and family is by using rapid antigen tests at home. Several provinces promised to provide them for free, but as Julie Wong explains, for many people, getting them right now is next to impossible.
Minus 30-degree temperatures in Alberta are not enough to keep people from lining up at pharmacies for COVID-19 rapid tests.
And I just want to make sure that our family has at least one for somebody if they need it, just so we can be safe.
As people try to navigate the holidays with Omicron on the move, the tests are the top item on many wish lists.
I'm traveling to Vancouver to visit my sister.
If you can get them.
We're going to be chasing kits all over the place because they're hot. People want them.
The Ontario government is handing out tests in high-traffic areas such as malls and liquor stores. But for many who lined up Friday morning, hope soon turned into disappointment.
They didn't know when, what time, and if they were going to get them.
Tests were snapped up in hours in some spots due to limited supply. Ottawa Public Health says a delay meant no tests were available at sites at all.
So annoying when you wake up early in the morning and you come and you line up for an hour and there's nothing to have.
Private suppliers say demand is unprecedented.
It's been, in a word, a tsunami.
Jeremy Hedges says interest is mainly coming from Ontario, Alberta, and BC.
I think that their rollout versus when people want to get the tests are far removed right now,
leaving provincial governments scrambling to soothe frustrations.
And I apologize for the people waiting in line. They disappeared like rapid fire.
Ottawa promises more tests are on the way.
Provinces and territories have requested 35 million rapid tests for December, and we will meet that demand.
Because for many, the tests are necessary this holiday season.
If people want to gather, they're going to want to test before they gather, right?
Julia Wong, CBC News, Edmonton.
Next week, travelers coming into Canada will face stricter COVID testing rules as the federal government rolls back an exemption for some trips that was brought in just last month. Hannah Thibodeau has the details and the dilemma that domestic travelers now face.
The Windsor-Detroit border crossing is often used for short jaunts to the U.S. This Canadian goes to see her American boyfriend.
Right now, there's no testing, so it's nice.
Since November, as long as the trip was under 72 hours, no PCR test was needed to get back into Canada. But as of December 21st, PCR testing will be back for international trips of all durations, and the test can't be taken in Canada.
Not good, especially around the holidays. It's not super great. I have to get tested there, and I find that the results take a little bit longer. So in order for me to go, I'd have to go for a few more days.
If you fly back to Canada, expect a test at the airport too. The government says soon it will move from random testing to testing everyone.
I was randomly selected for it, so I had to do this in the Toronto airport, even though I was boarding in like 15 minutes, and I was like, guys, like, I'm gonna miss my flight, and they're like, no, you do the test.
And for those who are now concerned if they should even travel domestically, there are ongoing discussions with the provinces about what to do. For now, it depends on who you ask.
I definitely would encourage people to travel domestically because you know that when you're getting on a plane, nobody can get on a plane unless they're vaccinated. Also, everybody's going to be masked.
So if you're traveling for leisure, if you can postpone a business trip that's within Canada, any sort of travel that you can postpone or simply cancel, I think at this point that's the right thing to do.
No matter the destination, for some, the hassles aren't worth it.
It's too complex, plus traffic, plus people. We're trying to avoid large crowds.
What the government is hoping for, to slow down Christmas travel and try to slow down the transmission of the Omicron variant. Hannah Thibodeau, CBC News, Ottawa.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau acknowledged the growing fatigue around the pandemic today, but in a wide-ranging interview with our chief political correspondent, Rosemary Barton, he urged weary Canadians to follow public health guidance.
Omicron doesn't care if we're tired of restrictions. It's going to keep doing what it does anyway. And we have a choice because we've seen it so many times. If we act early and carefully to hold back, to starve Omicron, right? If we, over the next 2 weeks, don't feed it, don't give it opportunities to spread more than it has to, we'll have a much better winter and a way better spring. We know that. We've been through this before. We're tired of it. But Canadians are now empowered with knowledge. We've shown the highest vaccination rates of so many other countries because people are doing the right thing. We know what to do. So as governments, we can be strongly recommending. We don't have to be enforcing rules to the same high degree where, yes, there is a possible pushback, and rely a lot on what Canadians have shown, which is a thoughtful reasonableness, a willingness to protect our frontline health workers and protect our most vulnerable.
You can watch Rosemary's full year-end conversation with the Prime Minister this Sunday. It will air on Rosemary Barton Live at 10 a.m. Eastern on CBC News Network and again at 10 p.m. Eastern here on The National. Pfizer-BioNTech is expanding clinical trials to include a third dose of its COVID vaccine for children as young as 6 months. The companies say the lower two-dose version of the vaccine for kids generated a weaker immune response than expected. The setback likely means a delay in vaccines for children under 5 years old. Omicron is fueling a huge wave of infection in the UK, with new daily cases higher than at any previous point in the pandemic. The country is reporting more than 93,000 new infections today. That breaks a record for the third day in a row. To put that in perspective, that's about 25,000 more cases than the worst day last winter. But as Farah Morali explains, there are no new lockdowns planned.
Outside a central London pharmacy, people line up for their booster shot. Many here, like Kim Williams, have been anxiously watching COVID cases surge.
I'm concerned that I don't want to get it myself and I don't want to give it to anyone else. And I think it's really important. It's a scary time. It's a very scary time.
This small pharmacy has been overwhelmed by demand for third doses.
It's pretty full on. You're on your feet all day for nearly 12 hours sometimes, but it's worth it.
Lineups for boosters are a familiar sight in London as daily records continue to be shattered for infections.
On the streets of London, things feel a little quieter than usual for a Friday before Christmas, but in some ways, things feel pretty normal too. Restaurants and bars are fully open. You don't need proof of vaccination or even a mask to get in.
The government has been pushing boosters as the best way to fight Omicron, not a lockdown.
We're not closing things, but what we are saying is people should be cautious and they should think about
their activities.
It's a complete failure of pandemic policy that has cost lives.
But this epidemiologist says a lockdown is the only way to ensure hospitals aren't overwhelmed.
Even if we act today, hospitalizations will keep rising for the next 2 weeks. If we act tomorrow, then, we're near another doubling. So we really don't have time here. In fact, we should have acted 2 weeks ago.
The variant is causing travel chaos too. Some countries are moving to limit travel from the UK, prompting a rush for many to leave early. Germany is considering new quarantine measures. And as of tonight, France will greatly limit who can travel there from the UK.
It's a bit too much,
Laurent Mass bumped up his holiday trip to get out before the rules tightened.
Some people go to see family, and some people are restrained with business, with work. And I think in this time of the year, everyone should be with his family,
For a second year in a row, Christmas hangs in the balance of a rapidly spreading variant. Farah Morali, CBC News, London.
In the United States, officials are sounding the alarm about the impact of Omicron, with the Delta variant already driving a surge of cases. As Chris Reyes explains, they're worried the coming weeks could bring a perfect storm of infection.
At hospitals across the U.S., a familiar cry.
It feels like we have been clawing through the mud, trying to get ourselves out of this impossibly deep hole.
In cities, too, a familiar sight. Long lines are back for COVID tests. This one in Miami at a drive-thru, and this in New York City. Public health officials across the country blame the added strain on a still surging Delta variant and a highly contagious Omicron on the rise.
Although Delta continues to circulate widely in the United States, Omicron is increasing rapidly.
We're really just about to experience a viral blizzard. In the next 3 to 8 weeks, we're going to see millions of Americans who are going to be infected with this virus.
In Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine has called in the National Guard to help at hospitals already at their breaking point.
Our high COVID hospital count is being driven primarily by the unvaccinated.
38 U.S. states have now reported Omicron cases. New York City's health advisor tweeted, "We've never seen this before in NYC. Test positivity doubling in 3 days." The worrying numbers prompted New York's mayor to make more tests available.
We will be expanding hours and capacity at many of our existing sites.
Friday's White House COVID-19 briefing had one message: get vaccinated and boosted.
We've seen cases of Omicron among those who are both vaccinated and boosted, and we believe these cases are milder or asymptomatic because of vaccine protection.
The U.S. is currently giving out 1 million boosters a day, but more are readily available.
For unvaccinated, we are looking at a winter of severe illness and death.
A grim forecast for another holiday season, 2 years and counting. Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
The CEO of Southwest Airlines has tested positive just days after appearing at a Senate hearing in Washington. Gary Kelly appeared alongside other top airline officials on Wednesday for a more than 3-hour-long hearing. Southwest says Kelly tested negative multiple times before attending, but he received a positive result after returning home and experiencing mild symptoms. The NFL is the latest pro sports league to change its schedule because of COVID. For the first time this season, it's delaying games. In the National Hockey League, the virus has already sidelined players and even entire teams. Cameron McIntosh shows us how things are rapidly getting worse.
You guys ready? Oh, yeah! Still game on in Winnipeg in front of a capacity crowd, at least tonight. Fans heading to watch the Jets and the Capitals. After this weekend, crowds here will have to go down to 50%.
We're all double vaccinated there, so I'm not worried about it. We all got our masks. We're good.
There's a possibility that they might not be playing or limit their capacity altogether, like we're nobody. But I don't know, we'll see.
Last night, new Quebec health orders just before puck drop forced the Montreal Canadiens to play in an empty rink. Still after the puck. While the Carolina Hurricanes, with several players testing positive, could entice a full team.
It's unprecedented times we're in, right? Like, it does show where you're at as an organization because you're relying on so many people now that you would never really consider, 6, 7 guys down the list.
The Calgary Flames are off the ice until after Christmas. 32 players and staff are positive. In all, about 80 NHL players are in COVID protocol, including some big names. Leafs captain John Tavares, and Edmonton's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. More than a dozen games have already been postponed, with calls from some players to just pause the season.
We all hope that we'd be out of it.
Kevin Cheveldayoff is GM of the Winnipeg Jets.
It's scary right now to pick up the phone and take a look at, and see what's happening.
For the Winnipeg Jets. Next week, the NHL will stop for a few days over Christmas, but not long enough to clear this up. Decisions to reduce crowd sizes don't go far enough, say this epidemiologist.
So, even 10,000 people in an arena is still dangerous, and I think that anybody who thinks that this is being overplayed is hasn't been paying attention for the last 20 months.
Now, in a deal with the players, each game the NHL postpones makes its participation in the Olympics less likely. Time the league would rather use to make up games if the virus lets it. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
As Omicron fuels a sharp rise in COVID cases, raises concern and prompts new restrictions, we're taking your questions just before the holidays.
Why are we increasing the restrictions when the only people that can enter those venues are fully vaccinated?
Are we ending up with the flu-like symptoms, or are we ending up on ventilators?
I have flights to Vancouver from Toronto. What do the physicians advise?
The doctors are here with their advice. Plus, what does all this mean for a return to the office?
If these guys are not returning to work, business is going to be very, very slow.
And how kids are having a little fun while getting their shot.
She loved it. I think she's going to be looking forward to her second dose, so I'm glad.
We're back in 2. All the news on COVID has been moving so quickly, and I know many of you have lots of questions. And take a look who we have tonight to answer some of them. Not 1, not 2, but 3 infectious disease experts, Dr. Lenore Saxinger, Dr. Isaac Bogoch, and Dr. Susie Hoda. Welcome to all of you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Lots of questions from viewers. Let's start with this one from Daniel.
Why are we increasing the restrictions on public gatherings in restaurants and gyms and public sports arenas when the only people that can enter those venues are fully vaccinated? Wasn't the idea that if we take all the unvaccinated people away from those venues and those locations, that everybody inside should be safe?
Dr. Bogoch?
Yeah, so this gentleman has an excellent point. That certainly was the idea. And with prior variants, we knew that vaccines would reduce, but not eliminate the risk that people would get infected, and reduce, but not eliminate the risk that people who are vaccinated could transmit this infection. Omicron has clearly changed things. I mean, this is a very transmissible variant. We know people with 2 doses and even 3 doses of the vaccine are getting infected. We know that 2 doses of a vaccine will provide some better protection, and 3 doses will provide even more protection against severe illness than 2 doses. But the key message from all the public health leaders is by reducing capacity, you can actually hopefully slow the spread of this and buy us a bit of time so you can boost their dose campaigns, first and second dose campaigns, get the hospitals ready for this wave that's brewing. And that's the real key message. It's to slow, not stop this wave.
One of the key questions people have about Omicron is its severity, and here's a question on that from Sarah.
I have a question about the impact of Omicron. What are we seeing as far as severe cases? How does vaccination help with that?
Dr. Hoda?
So I think this is still really unclear. We don't know how severe the infections are with Omicron. And early on, we were hearing that in South Africa, it seemed like there's less severe illness. But I don't know that that's playing out everywhere. So I think it's early days. The good news is even 2 doses of vaccine probably protects us reasonably well, if not has very strong protection against severe illness. So we estimate right now that it's probably about 70% effective at reducing hospitalizations, ICU admissions, and a 3rd dose can probably boost that up even higher. So I think it's really important to focus on that as a risk reduction measure. And remember that, if cases start to rise uncontrolled in the environment around us, the risk of severe infections will increase just by virtue of numbers, right? Like just the number of cases we'll have to deal with. And our health system may not be able to cope with that. So that's why the concern is that, with so many cases of Omicron, we might end up seeing more hospitalizations and ICU admissions.
All right, Dr. Hoda, thank you. Our next viewer question is from Julie.
I am part of the double AstraZeneca cohort, and I have had a Pfizer booster since. My question is how that combination holds up against Omicron compared to someone who has had 3 mRNA vaccines.
Dr. Saxinger?
No, this is an interesting and relevant question for that cohort. And I've only seen data on AstraZeneca boosted with 1 dose Pfizer. And in that data, it's kind of promising because that combination seemed to have some, cross-neutralization or effectiveness against Omicron comparable to that of 2-dose Pfizer. Now, that's still reduced from what we want it to be. And it is possible but unknown that, 2 AstraZeneca plus 1 Pfizer might actually be as good as a 3rd dose of Pfizer, but we really don't know that yet. We will be following this data very closely, though, because, the 3rd dose timing and priorities are going to be informed by this type of study.
Our next viewer question is from Irvin.
For people who are vaccinated, what are the outcomes of testing positive for Omicron? Are we ending up with the flu-like symptoms, or are we ending up on ventilators?
Dr. Bogoch?
Yeah, so great point. I think it's fair to say that we should take all the early data with a giant grain of salt because it's early and it's going to change. It's very likely that those with 2 doses of a vaccine are going to be provided with very significant protection against severe illness, meaning hospitalization, ICU stays, and death. And 3 doses will very likely provide even better protection against those severe illnesses as well. I'm hesitant to quantify it because the data is going to change over time. Safe it to say that the vaccines are very likely to keep people out of hospital and keep people from having severe illness.
Our next viewer question is from Linda.
My question is about domestic non-essential travel. I have flights to Vancouver from Toronto, return to visit family over Christmas. I've had my booster. What do the physicians advise?
I can just sense, Dr. Hoda, a whole bunch of people watching on the edge of their seat now because so many people have plans like that. How would you answer Linda's question?
Travel is a difficult thing to try and deal with at this moment because so many things are changing all the time. So I guess my advice would be, if you do go ahead with travel, recognize the uncertainties, that you should be aware of what's happening, in terms of COVID, Omicron, what restrictions are in place and what could change at your destination where you're going. And know that things could change as well, and you might need to quarantine if you do have an exposure while away once you come back. But importantly, remember that the process of traveling involves being around a lot of people you don't know and sometimes somewhat uncontrolled situations in the airport. And so it's really important to have a well-fitted mask on, one that's high quality and really fits you well to protect yourself, and try to distance as much as you can from people while you're kind of waiting. I worry less about the in-flight time, but it's really about those periods when you're around lots of crowds.
And we have time for one more question. This one is from Michael.
I contracted COVID on November 15th and self-isolated for 10 days. Health Canada told me I could still test positive for COVID for weeks. My question is this: is a rapid test still beneficial to me?
Dr. Saxinger?
That's a good question. And, we know that some people can actually continue to have viral fragments present for quite a long time after infection. And so if you're in a situation where you want to use a rapid test prior to going into a, group situation of any kind, and you've been infected within the last 6 weeks, I would actually suggest doing a baseline test. And they're less sensitive, so odds are it will be negative. And if it is negative, then you'd be able to rely on a positive. I'd also comment that if you've been recently infected, you might have some partial protection, but so far the early signs are that infection alone without vaccination really does not protect against Omicron very much, and so caution would be warranted. Rapid tests add a layer of protection, but they don't replace any of the other protections. And definitely people are going to be using them, and they should be relying on a positive test, but really actually not relying on a negative test, because you could still have infection and still pass infection with a negative rapid test.
I can't imagine how much reading the 3 of you guys are doing, especially in the last couple of weeks. But I do know this: we very much appreciate your time and all of your answers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
We have new insight tonight into what happened behind the scenes during one of the worst COVID outbreaks at a hospital in Alberta.
Clearly there were lapses.
Next, the missteps revealed in a report obtained by CBC News that until now hasn't been made public. As Canadians brace for the full impact of Omicron, the experience of an Edmonton hospital in 2020 shows how quickly things can go wrong in this pandemic. A report obtained by CBC News lays out the missteps that led to one of the worst COVID outbreaks in the Alberta Health Service. Julia Wong has the details.
The Misericordia Hospital is bustling now, a stark contrast to when it was shut down to new admissions last year because of a widespread COVID-19 outbreak inside. Between June and August 2020, 58 staff, patients, and visitors became infected. 11 patients died. Now, a report into the outbreak, obtained by CBC News through a Freedom of Information request, is finally shedding light on what happened. In one example, a symptomatic patient who had COVID was not tested when admitted and was placed in a shared room. 3 roommates and 2 staff who cared for them before the patient's diagnosis later tested positive as well, but not before one of those roommates was transferred to another room. Their new roommate became infected too, and it spread from there.
Clearly there were lapses.
CBC News asked 2 experts to review the report.
There were people who were mildly symptomatic who should have been tested.
Poor PPE use was also a problem.
In terms of training, in terms of available PPE, knowing how to wear it correctly, following procedures, doing signage, all of these sorts of things may have gotten lax simply because it hadn't spawned a crisis before.
Alberta health authorities now admit COVID protocols were not always strictly followed.
I don't think that they weren't prepared. I think the spread of this disease, the different things that people became aware of as we were reviewing it, really point to the need to be constantly vigilant.
The findings could have been valuable during other hospital outbreaks that followed, but officials could not explain why the full report still has not been released.
How come as of right now that still hasn't happened?
I think we have shared the learnings pretty broadly throughout all the facilities.
The Alberta government now says the findings will be published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal, though it's not known when. Julia Wong, CBC News, Edmonton.
This far into the pandemic, it can be tough to watch cases spike yet again and restrictions reimposed.
It's kind of a cruel twist. People were more hopeful, they were optimistic, and now this is sort of dashed plans.
Next, practical advice to help cope with COVID fatigue. Welcome back. As winter approaches, it may seem like this pandemic will never end, and the swift rise of Omicron has made things even more challenging. Earlier today, I asked on Twitter how you were coping, and some of you wrote about disappointment, sadness. Here are a couple of replies. Anguish that my children will face yet more disappointments, online school, the canceling of sports, this time unnecessarily. It could have been different. Another viewer, it feels frustrating to know that you're doing everything right and it feels like we are no further ahead. Feels like we're always reacting just a little too late instead of being proactive. Well, joining us now to talk more about this is psychiatrist Dr. Jackie Kinley, a professor at Dalhousie University and the founder of the Atlantic Institute of Resilience in Halifax. And Dr. Kinley, throughout this pandemic, a lot of us have heard the term languishing, and describe what it is and if you're seeing people who are experiencing it.
Absolutely. And I think it's a great term. I was saying earlier, there's this sort of term burnout, which is the idea when people have kind of hit the bottom. And languishing is a really good term because what it tells us is that people are sort of doing the best they can with the resources they have, but they're depleted. They're diminishing. So they're feeling demoralized, a little more sluggish. And this is important for us to know and notice because then we can intervene.
This is a tough night for a lot of people. Friday night, the holidays, getting closer, people with travel plans, and now like all of this bad news when it comes to COVID. How should people better cope?
Well, it's interesting. This is just one of a series of sort of, incidents that have happened over the last several years. And I think that the Omicron virus has been particularly difficult because it's kind of a cruel twist. People were more hopeful, they were optimistic, and now this is sort of dashed plans. But I would really, encourage people to put those plans into context. They're just stressors. It's one more stressor. I know it's significant. I'm not trying to minimize it, but it's not the stress. It's not the incident that matters. It's how we react to it. And so people are feeling frustrated, but they have choices, and there's things that they can do, and there's resources they have internally that they have to muster now.
All right, so, I mean, it's a big topic, I know, and it's different from person to person, but Dr. Kinley, give me some examples of some of those things that people can do.
Super. So I think the first thing is to put on your own oxygen mask first. People are feeling frustrated and they're trying to help other people, and we absolutely have to do that. We have to be there for others, but we have to take care of ourselves. And that really requires getting back to basics. I keep saying we really need to be deliberate. These are things we didn't have to think about before. And even though we don't feel like we can, we need to take steps. We need to be able to be mindful, settle, ground, right? We need to be able to change our expectations, set our priorities, creative, feel and talk about our feelings with people. We're going to feel angry, scared, all of those things are natural and they're normal. And we have those feelings because we care. And I think on top of all of it, we need to stay connected and reach out to other people. It's so important during this time. And this is an existential and a spiritual crisis too. So it's not just about our physical and our mental health, but it's about our spiritual health. Lean into those things, whatever it is that brings you comfort, I think are those things that people really have to go to now.
We have just half a minute left, but to pick up your metaphor on putting your own oxygen mask on first, in terms of helping others, family members, neighbors, in terms of resilience, in 30 seconds, what should we do?
Well, I think the most important thing is to recognize that you have it in you, that you have the capacity to be well, and you have the potential to be well. And it can be hard, and it can feel like a struggle to make those right choices, but we have to make those now. This is the time, when if you put in the effort, if you take care of yourselves, if you get back to basics, if you get outside, stay connected in whatever way you can, you're not only going to feel better, but the people around you will benefit from that too. Together, we will get through this.
You're not just an informed voice, but you have such a soothing voice as well, Dr. Kinley. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ian.
A big source of anxiety for many people is vaccination itself. For kids and their parents, getting the jab can be especially challenging. Alison Northcott shows us some creative tools being used to help.
As she lined up with her mom for her first shot of the COVID-19 vaccine, 6-year-old Leah Stratza was a little apprehensive.
What are you nervous about?
Because I was scared because, it hurts a little bit for me.
A lot of kids feel nervous at vaccination centers like this, so staff here are doing what they can to help ease their nerves with therapy dogs, balloons, an inflatable slide, and even virtual reality.
What? What's this?
What's this? It's fun, huh?
On that headset is a therapeutic video game.
Yeah, you look up and down and you shoot a balloon.
A tool to distract kids like Leah.
I see a big ball.
And get their minds off of that moment that can be scary for some.
Good job. You're done.
When the kid puts it on, then we launch the experience, and then they just grab the remote. You'll see exactly what the kid is seeing.
Dr. Jean-Simon Fortin is an ER doctor and head of the startup company behind the device, first intended for more painful procedures for patients with burns or fractures.
The shot is usually not a big pain, it's only a second, but the fear of it is usually what's the problem. So they get distracted, they start to play, and that's how it works. That's actually how it is a medical treatment where distraction really takes the edge off.
The company is licensed by Health Canada. The device has been used in pilot studies for other uncomfortable procedures at St. Justine Hospital in Montreal, and research has shown distraction can be a powerful tool to help kids through the anxiety of a needle.
Oh my God, it's like, as I said, another world. So they totally forgot the vaccine. They are having 2 doses, so they have to come back. So if they are traumatized at the first time, they may not want to come back.
It was just fun and so that's why this makes me brave.
I'm so proud of you. She loved it. I think she's going to be looking forward to her second dose, so I'm glad.
And staff here say that's an important feeling to leave with. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Laval.
I kind of want that for my next shot. When we come back, canceling return to the office.
If these guys are not returning to work, business is going to be very, very slow.
How the decision to keep workers at home is being felt at companies big and small. Next. Welcome back. With the pandemic about to enter a third calendar year, many downtown office buildings remain largely deserted. And as Nisha Patel shows us, that's left those workers and small businesses feeling abandoned.
Just as offices were welcoming employees back, many are closing their doors again.
We've been opening the branches, allowing some of the employees to have access to those branches, and now shutting them down.
With the rapidly spreading new variant taking hold, some companies have asked staff to work remotely.
We have a social responsibility around this, making sure that the virus is not spreading out.
Many of Canada's biggest employers had plans for a broader return to the office in the new year. Now banks like Scotiabank, CIBC, and National Bank have hit pause. Insurers Sun Life and Manulife will also delay bringing workers back.
This fifth wave that we're now entering is a huge frustration for businesses of all sizes as we're trying to navigate and remain open through this lingering pandemic.
Businesses are frustrated with rapidly changing government programs and the slow rollouts of booster shots and rapid testing. It all affects their ability to keep doors open.
We've really got to get on with sustainable long-term solutions and not Band-Aids at every wave that comes through.
For small businesses in downtown cores across the country, the return of office workers would have meant the return of customers. The situation is tough in Calgary, where a third of office space is vacant, a record high. Toronto business owners like Andre Vassi are also concerned.
If these guys are not returning to work, business is going to be very, very slow.
He says he had been hopeful, but this week, foot traffic started to slip.
An economy is all depends on how you feel about tomorrow. So if anybody gets just a little bit scared about tomorrow, they will cancel their trips, they will cancel their travels or coming down to the offices.
So while many office workers may not see their desks until the spring, those stores that rely on their business must try to survive a bit longer. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Toronto.
When we come back, a vaccine PSA that's becoming an earworm. The story behind this moment right after the break.
I told you that I never would. I told you I changed, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't.
This is a terrific song by the Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber. It's called Stay. It is a favorite for twins Connor and Cameron in Toronto. So when their teacher gave them a special assignment, that's where they went for their inspiration. And what they came up with is our moment.
Hi, I'm Connor.
And I'm Cameron.
And this is our cat named Kiko.
So, Miss Gibson, our teacher, gave us an assignment to create a public service announcement to encourage children to get their vaccine. We decided to do music.
Help you, this a virus, and I know that it can get to you. I need you stay safe.
We were really excited because we got 5,000 views. Our teacher presented it online for the whole class to see, and they were like responding by spamming the chat with clap and wow and amazing.
It made me feel good and proud knowing that people actually enjoyed my music.
Get vax. Happy holidays. Stay safe.
I know some people who have spent their entire lives on television that aren't as comfortable in front of the camera as those two kids are. They are fantastic. And it's kind of like now we're in this era where you can just have a phone and a song and post it on the internet and 5,000 views. I aspire to 5,000 views. That is the National for December the 17th. Join me Sunday for Cross Country Checkup on CBC Radio and later that night right here on the National. Good night.